Hey my friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. Big days here. My first test drive in the new 2017 Toyota 86, formerly known as the Scion FR-S, or alternatively known as the Subaru BRZ. The big news for this year, two things. A little bit of a styling treatment change, a few things inside, but what's under the hood is really what I'm curious to find out about. A tweaked engine, a few more ponies, and hopefully a better driving experience. Alright guys, before we get out on the drive, I do want to point out a few of the styling tricks they've done here. Completely new fascia down here. Got a lot more sculpting, a lot more shape than it used to. The mouth no longer looks like it's pasted on like wallpaper. There's a lot of depth in there. It's got a nice hefty grille going on. There's an all-new headlight design here. It's LED with LED daytime running lights. The big news though, if you look really close down there, you'll see an 86 logo right there in the lens. I think that's pretty slick. Over on the fender, there's a new emblem there. It's not really an emblem, it's just a new grille, but there is a new emblem down lower on the fender. No longer that 86 piston business that used to be on the old FR-S. Out at the back, there's a slightly revised rear fascia, all new LED tail lamps, and really I think it's just a nice styling update to go with what's under that hood. I am just as anxious to get out for the drive as you are to see it, but let's talk about the interior really quick because they did make a few little tweaks in here that are actually kind of nice. First of all, the big news they told us was that it's actually a smaller steering wheel, smaller in diameter, and I thought, well, that's really neat until they said it was 3 millimeters smaller. That's like the thickness of the rim or something like that. Still, very nice steering wheel. It's got a new logo right here on the center, 86. Over here on the dash, we've got this new Grand Luxe material. It's a suede-like material, which means not real suede, but it looks very nice. And there on the dash, it's also got the Toyota 86 logo. That material also over here on the doors and over here on the shoulders on the seats. New seat finishes this year. This has a nice sort of a gray charcoal netting, white stitching. It's just really sort of an upgrade to what was already there because these are mono-spec inside and out, just like they were when they were a Scion model. So unlike the Subaru BRZ, which you can have in different trim grades, here with the Toyota 86, it's still the mono-spec program like everyone knew with the Scion. What's under the hood here is, to me, the biggest news for the new 86. 5 more horsepower. We've got a tweaked engine here. It's got a new aluminum intake manifold, very nice looking, red with a crinkle finish on it. New exhaust manifolds, new valves, and a number of other little tweaks that actually give it 5 extra horsepower to go with a different axle ratio, now 4.3 at the rear instead of 4.1. Now the big thing to remember here is this new engine only comes with the manual transmission, not the automatic. So if you get the automatic in the new 2017 86, you're going to get the same exact engine that we've had in the vehicle for the last few years. This engine only comes with a manual. Okay, this is the big moment because my last few drives in the FR-S as well as the BRZ, I pretty much went on rant and raving lunatic fringes about what a noisy box of rocks this engine's been. It sounds like a blender full of marbles. It sounds like a grinder. It's an engine that I've never found rewarding before because even though on a racetrack the thing sings and it really revs and it does all those wonderful things a sports car does, driving it from stoplight to stoplight with no torque whatsoever has never been something I called fun. This engine, with its minor tweaks and its 2 extra horsepower, that extra gearing in the rear, might just make this, well, a little bit better. So I'm hoping here for a little bit of redemption. Well, let's see if it is. Okay, off we go. Luckily, out here in California, I've got this nice windy road here. Okay. Alright, so my first impression is we still don't have a lot of torque. It's still a relatively flat torque curve. But because of the gearing that's now in that rear axle, you feel it a little more. This engine definitely feels like it's got a little bit more response going on. And the other thing is, it doesn't quite have the graininess that it used to. It's got a little nicer sound to it, a little bit more refined. Dare I say, slightly quieter. Yeah. A little nicer to listen to. You know, I think they might have actually fixed this thing. Okay, now I need to slow down just a little bit because I'm way past the speed limit here. Okay, so what I think I've just found out here is I think we just may very well have redemption for this engine. It's definitely less grainy. It's not nearly as rough and obnoxious to listen to as I've always thought it was. And so you still have to rev it out. You still have to give it the revs if you really want to go. But it's not nearly as bad to listen to anymore. It almost, dare I say, sounds nice. Woo! Now, the other changes made to this car for this year, minor suspension tweaks. They've stiffened the rear anti-roll bar. They've actually made the rear springs a little bit softer, stiffened the front springs, new damper settings all the way around. And, well, for handling, what I think that actually gives us here is it feels a little bit more willing for that tail to feel like it wants to come out on you. Not that it's going to, but it feels a little bit more neutral. I think that's the takeaway here when it comes to the handling. The other thing that's new this year is the track mode, and that means you can turn the stability control completely off. Can you say drifting? Well, maybe, but if you're out on a track, you can really let this thing fly and not have the stability control nanny trying to come in on you no matter what you do. And so that's a really nice thing, because this is a car that in that circumstance really is a lot of fun. And even though I bitched about the motor in the past, I've always said this car is absolutely in its element on the racetrack, just as it is out here on this nice windy road. Woo! Man, I could do this all day. I like this now. It's fixed. That makes me happy. I almost want to cry. Okay, all right. They fixed this thing. Listen to that. Woo! Woo-hoo! Woo! All right, my friends, I've had a chance to stop, collect myself, take a breather after all of that gushing. So let's just talk about what happened there for a second, because I'm, collecting myself still. Driving back to headquarters and turning the car back in after my short little drive here. So what I've decided is, let me do this one more time. Okay. So what I've decided is they fixed the engine. They fixed it. It's much smoother. I think I said that already. It's much more enjoyable. I think I said that too. The only sad thing, of course, is the fact that if you get the automatic transmission, you still get the old engine. I guess the upshot of that is the old engine with the automatic was actually a lot more bearable anyway, just because the automatic transmission softened it quite a bit. It took a lot of the edge off, I thought. So probably not a big deal there. This is just so much better car, even with the little tweaks, than last year, so I like it. Now, here's the thing. This was a very short drive, about 10 minutes, maybe 15 is all the time I've had to spend with this. I will be, gonna miss my turn. Woo! All right. Anyway, let me get around this corner here. Short drive. I'll be spending a whole week with the car very soon. A little bit later this year or early next year, I'll have a car that will do a complete test drive review and take it up on my favorite road and get a lot more into the details than we got to here today. It'll probably be the Toyota, not the Subaru, because after my last BRZ review and going on and on about how bad the engine was, I don't think I'm getting any cars from them for a while. Toyota, thankfully, nice enough to give me another try at it here. So there's that. What I would invite you to do, click on the big red link right there on your screen, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we do test drive 1 or 2 cars a week, and there's a new video almost every other day. There's always something new. So stay tuned. It's time to give this one back. All right, now I don't know if you can see this here. There's a silver one and a red one. All the colors are here. Let me back it up. It's got a backup camera. Anyway, as I said, subscribe.